What's up, YouTube? T-Movies here with the new film, Laundromat, hitting limited release this week, and Netflix in October. And with the new film, Pain and Glory, hitting theaters next week. Since both films stars the always great Antonio Banderas, I decided to go ahead and do my top 10 favorite Antonio Banderas movies, because he's the man. I mean, Antonio Banderas really never ages, by the way. The guy seriously looks the same as he did now as he was when like in the night. Like, this guy seriously never ages. And Antonio Banderas, he's been in some really great high profile stuff over the years. So with that, and he might actually, there's pretty much talk that he might actually not only get nominated but maybe win his Oscar for Pain and Glory, which he is actually one of the best actors without an Oscar. So I'll be down for that. But anyway. With that being said, here's my 10 favorite Antonio Banderas movies. Alright. Coming in at number 10 is going to Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Now, this is the final installment of the Mariachi trilogy. And the film stars Antonio Banderas reprising his role as El Mariachi, who makes his way across a rugged landscape on like a bloody trail of Barilo, played by Willem Dafoe, who's this cartel kingpin, and with like one last score, Giselle, and he's like playing like a cup D ETAT against the president of Mexico, and he ends up being enlisted by Sands, played by Johnny Depp, who's a corrupt CIA agent. And you even got Salma Hayek is also in this. You even had Mickey Rourke.
And the person with the
You even had Eva Mendes. I mean, Once Upon a Time in Mexico is great. It's really fun. I do love me these drug kingpin based movies. I guess you could say it's a follow up to Desperado, and it's actually kind of one of the most underrated trilogies. The El Mariachi trilogies are great. I mean, Robert Rodriguez got to say about getting another El Mariachi trilogy back. I'll love to see the character back again. But if you guys never really seen Once Upon a Time in Mexico yet, with Banderas, Salma Hayek, Johnny Depp, it's a really great one. I mean, Johnny Depp and Antonio Banderas together, who knew that could be a match that could really work? Alright. Coming in at number 9 is this very erotic movie called Femme Fatale. Now, Femme Fatale is directed by Brian De Palma, who gave us Scarface, Carrie. This movie is what you call it's a really dirty film, I'll put it that way. And it stars Rebecca Romaine as this woman named Lauren Ash, who's this icy Hitchcock blonde who ends up stealing $10 million worth of diamonds off the body of this supermodel. And so she tries to avoid being captured. And she ends up running into this paparazzo named Nicholas Bardo, played by Banderas, who ends up continually snapping photos of her and all. And there's some really erotic chemistry between Romaine and Banderas. Like, those two really play off each other well. And Rebecca Romaine, like, she kind of wore this like silver, this very erotic silver top thing. I mean, yeah, pretty. I mean, who does not love Rebecca Romaine? Said by me, dude. Jerry O'Connell is one lucky dude. And Femme Fatale, it's actually more of a guilty pleasure. Like, it's not that great of a movie, but I get a kick out of it. I mean, it is a very Hitchcockian thriller, and Rebecca Romaine is, she's a goddess. And Antonio Banderas is great. I mean, if you guys never really seen Femme Fatale by now, it's an interesting erotic film right there. Alright, coming in at number 8 is really his Shrek 2 spin-off, or I should say prequel of sorts. That is Puss in Boots. Now, Puss in Boots, takes place like before Puss in Boots meets Shrek and all. And here he ends up character of Puss in Boots is just named a hero for saving a woman from a charging bull, and he ends up being run out of town on a suspicious bank robbery. And so, like, the real villain here is also Puss's friend Humpty Dumpty, voiced wonderfully by Zach Galifianakis. And so, like, there are also animosity between the two, and they like end up reuniting to reunite. They end up reuniting to steal a goose that ends up laying golden eggs, and together they are also joined by this cat burglar voiced by Salma Hayek. I mean, Salma Hayek and Antonio Banderas. I gotta double check if they ever dated or not. They work together a whole lot. And Puss in Boots, I mean, you even had Amy Sedaris lending her voice in this. You also had Billy Bob Thornton lending his voice. I mean, some really great cast members was in Puss in Boots, and I really got a kick out of Puss in Boots. It's such an awesome, funny film. It's really charming. It's entertaining. More darker than the Shrek franchise, that's for sure. But yeah, and there's also talks about a sequel in the works. I mean, if you guys never seen Puss in Boots, which got released in 2011, wow, I can't believe it's been that long. But definitely check out Antonio Banderas' Puss in Boots film. It's a really awesome one. Alright, coming in at number 7 is going to another family film that Banderas appeared in, and that is Spy Kids. Now, Antonio Banderas plays this character named Jorgerio Cortez, who's this retired spy who's living with his wife, who's a fellow former spy named Ingrid, played by Carla Gugino, and their kids are of course the Tyros of Spy Kids, and they're played by Alexa Vega and Daryl Sabara. And you of course got Alan Cumming as the main villainess. It's once again another Banderas and Robert Rodriguez collaboration. Antonio Banderas had appeared in the other Spy Kids sequels as well, but the first Spy Kids is great. It's such a really fun, entertaining spy-based film. Antonio Banderas played that perfectly. I mean, you even had Danny Trejo as Machete. I know lots of people who've seen the Machete movies keep forgetting that Danny Trejo actually ended up appearing as the role of Machete in a kids movie. Yeah, the character Machete is a really violent character, but the character is still in a kids movie, which I always found to be funny. But anyway, yeah, Spy Kids is such a great one, and they're all pretty fun. I mean, they're really cool. They're charming. I mean, if you guys never really seen any of the Spy Kids movies, give them a go. They're really cool. I mean, the last one, All the Time in the World, which Banderas didn't really have a big role in. He only had like a little cameo in it. Even that one I kind of got kicked out of, so. Alright, coming in at number 6 is going to be the film Philadelphia, directed by the late Jonathan Demme, who of course gave us Silence of the Lambs. I mean, rest in peace, Jonathan Demme, wonderful director. Anyway, Tom Hanks, of course, won his first Oscar for playing the role of Andrew Bucket, who's this gay lawyer dying from AIDS, who ends up being hired by an ambulance-chasing attorney, played by Denzel Washington, to defend him in a wrongfully dismissed suit against his former law firm. And so Banderas actually co-stars as the role of Miguel, who's Andrew's lover. And I mean, Philadelphia is one interesting film. I mean, of course, it ended up coming out at the height of the AIDS crisis, and where at a time many Americans kept themselves from visibly angry about the deadly disease. And Antonio Banderas and Tom Hanks as lovers, whoever knew that could actually work. I mean, Tom Hanks and Banderas had really great chemistry together. And Philadelphia, like I said, it was a film that really won Tom Hanks' first ever Oscar. Or was it his second? I can't remember before. Scum came before or Philadelphia came before. But, yeah, Philadelphia is really great. I mean, it is it is a pretty sad film to watch and all, but it's still really decent film. I mean, if you guys never seen Philadelphia, give it a go, and you're gonna need some tissues because it's a really sad one. All right, coming in at number 5 is the film Evita. Now, the film is directed by Alan Parker and is based on the Broadway classic, and it pretty much recounts the true story of Ava, parent played by Madonna, who's this B movie actress who was married to this Argentinian president named Juan, parent played by Jonathan Price. And Banderas plays the role of Che, who's like an everyday man who acts as like this narrator and allowing the actor to like, and he ends up assuming different roles throughout the whole film. And I mean, Evita, it's actually probably my favorite Madonna performance. I mean, that's not saying much because Madonna's not that great of an actress. She's a great singer, but as an actress, Madonna could be a hit and miss. But Evita, she was great and like her on-screen, like I mean, we had other actors who played the role of Che as well. Like I believe Benicio del Toro played the role. So the character of Che has been played numerous times. But I think Antonio Banderas played the role much better. His on-screen chemistry with Madonna was pretty cool. The music was decent. I mean, Antonio Banderas did not even get an Oscar nomination for this, by the way, which I think he should. But of course, Madonna did win a Golden Globe, so I guess that's cool. But yeah, I mean, I can't even remember if Banderas ever even gotten an Oscar. Like, I don't even think he ever has an Oscar nomination on that. So, or I know he doesn't have an Oscar win, but I don't even think he has an Oscar nomination. Period. I mean, I gotta double check that. I could be wrong, but yeah, what a great actor Antonio Banderas is. I mean, hopefully, Pain and Glory he'll get a nomination for. But anyway, leaving a little off track there. Anyway, coming in at number 4 is Interview with the Vampire. Directed by Neil Jordan, based on the book by Anne Rice. I mean, you got Brad Pitt as a 200-year-old vampire Louis the Poniati Duloc. You got Christian Slater as the San Francisco journalist in this. Tom Cruise as Lestat. You got Antonio Banderas as the vampire Ahmad with Steven Rea as Santiago. I mean, Antonio Banderas was really everyone in Interview with the Vampire is great. I mean, this is one of the most iconic vampire movies you'll see in years. I mean, it's based on the Anne Rice novel. Great performances by Cruise. Banderas was really menacing in this. Uh, it had a very young Kristen Dunst was in this. Interview with the Vampire is such a really good one. If you guys never really seen it, go check it out. I mean, it's really decent. All right. Coming in at number 3 is going to the Mask of Zorro. Now, the Legend of Zorro, I never liked the Legend of Zorro at all. But the Mask one with him, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Anthony Hopkins, the Mask of Zorro is such a great one. There's been so many actors who played Zorro over the years, whether it's Douglas Fairbanks, Tyrone Power, Guy Williams, George Hamilton. But I think the best actor to bring Zorro to the big screen is obviously Antonio Banderas. I mean, it was directed by Martin Campbell, who I thought did a great job at directing. I mean, Antonio Banderas actually received a Golden Globe nomination for his performance. I mean, him as the swashbuckling, sword-wielding masked hero is great casting. Now, this movie got released in 1998, and the sequel followed in 2004. And I still wish we get another Zorro with Antonio Banderas in it. I mean, I know they're doing that Zorro and Django Unchained crossover. I mean, I really want Antonio Banderas to come back. I'm sorry. I think even Legends Zorro, which wasn't all that great, Antonio Banderas was a great Zorro. Like, he just plays that role perfectly. And I mean, you even had Stuart Wilson, play the bad guy in this. I mean, yeah, the Max Zorro is such a great one. If you guys never seen the Max Zorro, go check it out. And I'll say still go check out the Legends though, mainly for how great Banderas is. Like he really plays this role perfectly. And I still would love to see him back as a role, but I don't think that will ever happen. Alright. Now coming in at number 2. I'll just talk about her. Coming in at number 2 is Shrek 2. Now this was our first debut of the voice of Antonio Banderas as the famed cat Puss in Boots. Now I really love Antonio Banderas as Puss in Boots. I think he voiced that role really amazing. I mean, Shrek 2 ended up being a follow-up to the first Shrek, which ended up being the first anime film to win the best anime category. And Shrek 2, it's not the Shrek franchise isn't as good as the original Shrek, but I still get a kick out of the Shrek franchise. And Banderas at doing the voice of Puss in Boots is great. He's so really funny as a role. I mean, you could literally tell that's Antonio Banderas doing the voice. And I mean, it's pretty much like Zorro if Zorro was a cat. That's really what I always saw Puss in Boots as. And so it's obviously you get Antonio Banderas as a role. I mean, Puss in Boots is such a great character, and it was pretty cool they did the spin-off too. And I'm still hoping I'm still looking forward to see a sequel to that, but we'll see when that happens. All right, now my number one favorite Antonio Banderas movie of all time goes to another El Mariachi film, and that is Desperado. Now, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was actually a sequel to Desperado, but I think Desperado is much better. This was actually a follow-up to Robert Rodriguez's earliest film called El Mariachi, which didn't have Antonio Banderas playing the role. It had a different actor, which I can't remember the actor's name who played the original El Mariachi. But that guy was cool and all. But Antonio Banderas, he really nailed it much better as El Mariachi. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I really want another El Mariachi film. Come on, Robert Rodriguez, give us another one. I think the El Mariachi franchise is really great. And Desperado, you also had Salma Hayek as his love interest, and Salma Hayek in this movie. What? I'm not going into any details, but if you guys have a crush on Salma Hayek, you might want to watch her in Desperado. If you guys really have a major crush on Salma Hayek, Desperado is a film you want to watch. I'm not going into any details, just and not to mention, it also had a really great cast. You also had Joaquim de Almeida, Steve Buscemi was in this. Desperado is pretty violent. It's very entertaining. A great thrill ride. You'll definitely appreciate Desperado. And, man, Robert Rodriguez needs to give us another one. And sad to say, I think if we do get another El Mariachi film, I highly doubt Antonio Banderas will come back. That part of me really wants him to come back. I think besides Puss in Boots and all, El Mariachi is Antonio Banderas' best role. I think he also plays the guitar really well in this. He kicked loads of behinds. I mean, Desperado is definitely his best work in my opinion. But that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. 10. Once Upon a Time in Mexico. 9. Femme Fatale. 8. Puss in Boots. 7. Spy Kids. 6. Philadelphia. 5. Evita. 4. Interview with the Vampire. 3. The Max Zorro. 2. Shrek 2. 1. Desperado. Now, Antonio Banderas, over his career, has been loads of other great stuff over the years. Let me pull up his credit list. He was in the last SpongeBob movie they released in 2015. He was in Take the Lead, Original Sin with Angelina Jolie. That's a very erotic movie right there. The Skin I Live In, he was in. He was in, which, by the way, Skin I Live In was from the same director. Can't remember his actual name, but his first name is Pedro Almodovar. I can't really pronounce his last name that well. But he also directed Banderas in The Skin I Live In. He was also in The Expendables 3, Machete Kills, which also directed by Rodriguez. He was in The 13th Warrior, which, surprisingly enough, lots of people like The 13th Warrior. I'm one of the rare folks who's not really into The 13th Warrior, as most people are, but let's see. He was in that movie Black Butterfly with John DeReese Myers. He was in the movie 33, which I was really disappointed by. He was in Dick as Thieves. He's supposedly supposed to be in the New Mutants, but I don't even know if that movie's still coming out or not. But he was in Never Talk to Strangers, Frida, which also has Salma Hayek in it. He was in 4 Rooms, Tie Me Down, Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. He's going to be in that new Dr. Dolittle movie coming out with Downey Jr. He was in the movie The Mambo Kings, I must say. Antonio Banderas, he's been in some great high-profile stuff. I mean, Haywire, he was great in. But even if he's in a bad movie, he's still great in it. You know, that's how great of an actor Banderas is. And, you know, I haven't seen Pain and Glory yet, but I would say one thing I'll love for Antonio Banderas to get an Oscar nomination. I mean, the guy is such a great actor, and crazy to believe he doesn't even have an Oscar on himself. So, hopefully that will change for Pain and Glory. But let me leave you guys. What are some of your favorite Antonio Banderas movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is C-Movie signing off.